All right, welcome. We are doing our Seattle Coffee Gear Coffee of the Month. And this month it is Tony's Ethiopia Dairy Kachoha. It's a fun one to say and it's a fun one to drink. So why don't you get us started on just a little bit more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to brew this one as a pour over like we always do. Kind of like we've talked about in the past, we usually do pour overs so that we can kind of evaluate all the coffees that we bring in equally. So that's sort of the benefit of why we do that for everything. But we wanted to share a little bit about why with this particular coffee we would recommend you try it as a pour over first anyway. So one of the things about brew methods is that different kinds of coffees really do fit best with different kinds of brew methods, which is why you see like espresso blends and like filter specific coffee, which is really kind of talking about any kind of drip or filter brew method. And part of that is has to do with roast levels and tasting notes. So with this Tony's, this is a really kind of berry intense and lighter coffee. So when you brew it as a pour over, you kind of get the full picture. All of the complexity of the lots of different notes that are in there kind of hit different parts of your palate. Whereas if you brew it as an espresso, it tends to condense everything down and makes everything really rich and intense and kind of syrupy.
Yeah.
Focused.
Yeah, exactly. Focused is a great word for it. So it's great for coffees that are a little bit more that are super chocolatey, and actually this one might be good as an espresso as well because like sometimes strong berry notes are great in an espresso, but it's just a thought as to why you might want to try brewing as a pour over first, because then you can really experience sort of the range of flavors in the roast.
And especially if you're new to Ethiopia, I think too, because it's a very it's a unique taste. And so trying it as a pour over is a really good way for you just to start to see if it's something that you're interested in diving into. And this specifically is a good one to try if you've never done Ethiopian before.
Because it's really strong flavored.
Yeah, it is, but it's still like very refreshing. It's not like overpowering, I don't think.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and this one is Ethiopian coffee is really diverse. As well, I keep saying the word diverse, but it's true of this coffee in particular, or as this region in particular, because it's grown and processed through in a lot of different places in the country and in a lot of different ways. So you get different flavor profiles from a lot of different Ethiopians. One thing that is really consistent though is that natural processed Ethiopias have the really strong berry note that this coffee has in it. So that's kind of why we think it's a great coffee to start exploring the region with, and then also to brew in this particular method, because it makes for a really flavorful experience that's like super upfront with the berry notes.
And honestly, when you try a coffee like this, if you've never had if you're used to drinking coffee with cream or sugar, this kind of points out why you don't necessarily need that if you have really good coffee.
So true.
Because the flavors that come through
Thank you.
are just so prominent, and you really don't need, you just don't need anything else. You don't need sugar. It's just delicious the way it is.
Yep, I agree with that. I agree. Plus, we just really like Tony's. Tony's has been around for a while, based out of Bellingham, Washington, so just north of us here, since 1971. So, yeah, they've been around for a while, and they do great things. I don't know if you've ever seen their bags before, but they have a cute little elephant design on all of them. Another thing you should check out, too, is go to Tony's website and check out their gear, because they have some cool sweatshirts and T-shirts and all that with that elephant on it. So, yeah, it's really cute stuff. We really like that company a lot. All right, we tasting?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is one of the more exciting. I keep kind of we got a lot of roasts from this producer last year. There was a few other of the prominent roasters in the region and around the country produced or roasted coffee from this producer, and it was all very good. So we were already really excited to get a Tony's from this producer to get an Ethiopia Dairy Kachoa from them. And it's even better, I think, than a lot of the ones that we had last year, in my opinion. So if you liked there was an Olympia that had coffee from this producer, I think, and a few other roasters. If you liked any of those, this is a must try for you for sure.
Tony's is an award-winning roaster too. I think Tony's Ganesha has won awards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
this is good.
I like. There's always it's very smooth and there's a little something extra. They note it as peach, I think is the.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so they note it as peach, but there's a little bit of extra fruit flavor there that's kind of around the edges. That's a little different than just the standard like blueberry and chocolate flavor that you get from Ethiopian Naturals that I find really, really appealing.
This is like the reason you drink coffee black, though. I mean,
I agree with
it's
you
delicious.
100%.
Yeah.
I love cream with my coffees. I like lattes. I like drip with just cream, and this is such a good one on its own. And I am one that was like really scared to try just black coffees, but when you do something like this, it's smooth and it's very easy to drink.
Yep, and sweet and rich, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So,
Flavorful,
yeah, it
complex.
is the perfect coffee for someone who already really loves this region and process, or for someone even who is getting into it for the first time.
Absolutely. It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for checking us out, and we'll see you next time for our next coffee of the month. And remember to subscribe, like, comment, do all of that. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well. All right. Thanks a lot.
Bye.